How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I have a topic in mind that I really want to talk about. It's a subject that I've seen a bunch of people make videos on online. No, sorry, I haven't seen people make videos about it, but I've seen a lot of articles about it, and I'm kind of like want to share my perspective on it and why I think it is something people really need to talk about. And that is this whole idea of education being a scam. And I'm also going to try and blend it together with talking about online courses and what scams are in general. So for context, the main idea about this is, there's been this, and it's not really a Nigerian thing because I am a Nigerian. It's not really a Nigerian thing. It didn't start from Nigeria, but it basically started with Western culture and this idea that, school is a scam, and that most people, if you want to be successful in a life, that you have to drop out, that a 9 to 5 is a scam, right? I mean, it first of all started with a 9 to 5 being a scam, that you don't need to have a 9 to 5, and that, working for a 9 to 5 is a scam. It's a fake dream that has been sold to a lot of people, and that school is just a system that's powering this entire scam, and so school itself is a scam, that you should drop out and, just live your life. And there have also been popular billionaires or even big people in tech who are backing this movement. For example, I know Peter Thiel once did a thing where he said that if you drop out of school, that he's going to sponsor your business and all that. And I think that, as with a few other things, or with most other things, people in my country have literally taken it out of context. These days, you go online and you see young, impressionable, very, very impressionable youths saying things like, "Oh, school is a scam. There's no benefit to being in school. If you finish school, you're going to come out and you're not going to have a job." Stuff like that. And people are just touting all these things online. And first of all, do I think that school is a scam? Definitely not. And I'm going to say why, because I'm also going to explain what I think a scam is, and I'll also give you classical examples of what a scam is. So, according to dictionary definition and from experience, a scam is basically when somebody promises you something and you don't get that thing, right? Or you don't get that thing, or you get something totally different from what was actually said you were going to get. That is what a scam is. A classic scam is, a fraud or stealing from people. That is a scam. Trying to tell people that you are something that you're not and trying to get them to pay money. But now you notice that nowadays people have taken this concept to a very different type of level. Like literally anything that they do that doesn't work out in the particular way that they wanted, they basically tout it as a scam. And that is the mindset behind the people that are saying these things about school being a scam and then dropping out. Let us first of all examine where this concept is coming from. So the concept is coming from basically the Western world. And in the Western world education system is a lot different from education system in my country, Nigeria. So in the Western world, right, people go to school, but then they don't have to pay all the money upfront, right? They run a credit society, meaning that you don't have to actually pay physical cash in order to get something, right? You can pay on credit. And so most people go to school on loans. Now, depending on the kind of school that you go to and depending on, the income level and all that stuff, you can actually get a good education, but then you're getting it on credit, meaning that you actually have to pay back for it in future, right? That's when you get a job or when you have to start doing something else. And so a lot of people actually, because first of all, by the nature of school itself, right, not everybody is going to be or not everybody is going to graduate and end up working with that particular job that they did. And just the way the whole school system is structured is basically structured in a way that you being able to go through a system, there's a lot of people that's going through the system, so there is actually no guarantee that every single person would have equal opportunities, because as the society is getting bad, as we're getting the whole economic crisis and everything, there is not enough room for people to actually work in companies. So that is a problem that is caused by the economy. But then what happens is that a lot of people go through school, and then school doesn't really care if you have, or if you end up getting employed or whatnot. you come out of school and you come out with that debt, right? And you have to pay that debt, as you know, sometimes for as long as you live. And so you have people, literally households, that spend their entire life paying off debt of school that they went to, regardless of whether they end up in a very profitable profession or not. And so coming back home, when you look at this, okay, first of all, you kind of understand where this mindset of, oh, school is a scam is for them, because, oh, I'm going to accrue this very huge debt, which I don't know if I'm going to pay off in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years. And, you know, part of this is also financial literacy, but we might talk about that in another video. But then due to bad financial decisions, or, you know, just reckless spending, or not even being able to earn enough money, I'm not able to pay off this debt effectively. And so people immediately tout school as being a scam. But then you notice that the next objective or the next alternative that they give is that you actually start a business, which has been proven to not be guaranteed as well, because going by other reports, you are more likely to even fail when starting a business than you are to succeed, right? I think it's 99 or 98% of businesses that they say fail in their first 5 years or so. So you're even more likely to fail having a business. But just because there are a few upsides, these people are preaching that a school is a scam and then you should drop out and just start a business with chances that you are going to succeed, which is clearly not for everyone. And so, you know, people in other countries that have imbibed other aspects of Western culture, like their food, their style and everything, they see this aspect and they also feel like, this is also something that we can buy into. And the recent rise of tech has not helped this idea at all, right? You can see few startups that are actually turning into billion-dollar companies. You know, tech is currently booming, and then there's a huge market for tech. And so people are running into tech and they don't want to go to school again, because they feel, oh, if I just come out and I either get into just tech as a freelancer, or, you know, I just learn how to code, or I just do one of these off things, and, you know, I've seen this person that's successful, I can definitely do it for myself and become successful. And so these people are now preaching that you can actually drop out of school. But that is a very, very bad mindset to have, because just by the numbers, you are more likely to fail if you drop out than if you stay in. Let us also talk about other benefits of actually staying in school, because apart from the fact that people say you can actually get a job and just have a normal life by going through school, there are other advantages to actually being in school, which I don't want us to write off totally. First, there is the advantage of actually meeting people, right? Most of the people that end up helping you, or end up helping, you know, your situation in life, helping you with connections, with business deals and all that, are probably going to be in the same school as you, right? In the same set. And if you're lucky to go to a good school, or you have, you know, parents of rich people who send their kids to your school, you get to build that connection in a way that you would probably not have been able to do on a normal day. So there's that. That's a good benefit of going to school. Another good benefit of going to school is, so you basically learn some things, right? You learn some life skills. You gain these connections. I feel like those are actually good benefits of going to school. The connection, for the most part, is like the most important thing. And then, I just remembered what I wanted to talk about. The fact that schools are internationally recognized means that you have a higher chance of getting employment, or even things like visa, in other countries just by having good grades, right? So due to the fact that you have good grades, because schools are internationally recognized, you can actually use that as a pivot into some other industries, to some other countries, to a different economy entirely, and literally change your life forever. So those are aspects that people don't really loud enough. They all look at the aspect of, oh, I went to school for this particular thing and I came out and I'm doing something else different, which happens to a lot of people, right? But we see a lot of people just want to shout that part, oh, that I just went to school and I'm not able to get a job in this particular field, which is not the case. We need more people to highlight the fact that school has other benefits, most especially the social interaction, and then the opportunities that it presents, like in the longer span of life. You know, even things like political posts, right? Different things that you would not be able to do if you don't have a good degree. We don't get those highlighted enough. However, I'm still going to say that, you know, going to school and all that there is the part that I don't really like. I've never really liked it, and I want to address it, which is the length of time that it actually takes to be in school. So, for example, an architecture degree, right? I don't know what part of the world that you're watching this from, but an architecture degree in my country, which I did, I spent about 4 years in architecture school, and that is minus the master's. This is just for the undergraduate degree program. And I keep asking myself, right, what exactly did I have to spend 4 years in school for? Is it that my brain had to develop to a particular level, or I just needed to just spend 4 years? Like 4 years is, depending on how you look at it, sometimes, or to some people, it might be a short period of time, but to some others, and considering how fast the world is going, 4 is actually a long time. Like, I could literally have finished everything I wanted to do in architecture school. If they compiled the whole courses and everything together and the whole exams and everything, I'm pretty sure I could have done it in like 6 months or maximum 1 year, right? Why do you need to go to school and be in school for 4 good years in order to just get a degree that you are not sure that you are going to use, right? That is the main issue I've always had with school, and I still have, and that's why I feel like the school system should be changed. But then I don't feel like it should just be scrapped totally. I feel it should be revamped very, very well, but I don't feel like it should be scrapped totally. All this I'm saying is just to let you know that school is not actually a scam. There are actual good benefits to it, which these people fail to highlight. Now, the other part I'm going to touch on now is comparing, schools to online courses and scams and all that. Basically, most of these people that say schools are scam basically just tell you, oh, you just need to get a skill or, take an online course. They always point out the time factor that, oh, it takes, a shorter period of time, and also the money factor, right? You don't need to actually spend a lot of money in taking like an online course compared to going to a school, or even in learning like an online skill compared to going to a school. But then the question arises that if everybody does that, right? If everybody takes this advice, just the same way that they would argue that everybody cannot be an entrepreneur because who exactly is going to work for the entrepreneurs? Who's going to work in the office? In the same vein, if everybody decides to, drop out of school or, go this unconventional route of, just taking skills and doing everything, what's going to happen to professions like doctors, right? What's going to happen to professions like being an engineer or being like a lawyer, right? These are things that people actually, or I feel to an extent, they have to take some extra time to actually learn this stuff and let it get into their heads very well and, get certified enough to actually help people with it. So there is the room for that, right? There's room for the real academicians, people that do research and all that. There is room for that. So you can't just advocate that everybody drops out and, just does this thing and freeze their life. It's also very important to note that even when it comes to things like online courses, for example, most of these promises are still being made today. The same kind of promises that people feel like schools are scams for. For example, you might see a course, and even though, I have courses, so I'm kind of like guilty of this as well. But then you see courses that are promising you that, you can take this particular course and all you have to do is just take the course and then millions will follow. They advertise it using things like, saying things like you don't need any experience, you don't need anything, you don't need to do, like you literally don't need to do anything. All you need to do is just buy this course and then you start making money. That is also kind of scammy. That can come across as scammy as well because you literally can't just take a course and start making millions. That's not how it works. There are other factors that you have to factor in, other things that you have to actually look at that can either make you succeed with that course or make you fail. So those things need to be put into perspective. Those things need to be talked about a lot, and people don't really talk about it. So I'm just trying to say that, first of all, schools are not a scam. They are good to a particular extent. They are things that they are actually good for. These benefits of school should be highlighted more. People should not also just buy into the promise of, yeah, I'm going to school and so once I go, I'm going to come out with a very good grade and get a good job. That is not reality because you're likely not going to get that expectation met. You're more likely to have a different path than that particular aspect that you set out in your mind. So you need to actually put that at the back of your mind. Despite what anybody is telling you, despite any dream that is being sold to you, you need to be able to think for yourself. So I guess that's what this video is about. Hopefully you got some insight from it. If you have a different opinion, like if you feel that there's an area that I didn't touch on fully, or if you just have a varying opinion, or you even want to support what I'm saying and add your points to it, just drop them in the comments. I really like making videos like this because it allows me to do something I love doing a lot, which is actually talking to people. I enjoy doing tutorials and all that, but I get more joy, I feel more fulfillment from actually talking about topics like this and getting people to think about things rather than just the whole theoretical stuff online. So I'm doing this kind of videos because I love them, not really just because it's YouTube, but basically because I love talking about things like this and I love hearing people talk about stuff like this. I like reading about content like this. I enjoy watching content like this, and I figured I can also make content like this that some people might enjoy. All right, thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in one of my other videos. All right, take care.